you're not being Catholic, one of your rights, but you. So do I, obviously. This is called freedom. Freedom of religion, in this case. You are free to believe or not believe. You are free to believe in Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, or whatever you may think of. And Italy respects and grants your right to freedom. But that freedom came at a price. I'd like you to think of this number, 1,001,000. What does it represent? It's the number of American, English, and French soldiers who died during World War II. They have given his life for all of us. They have fought. Each one of these soldiers fought for us. They believed that Europe could be freed from the Nazi-fascist monster. They have endured bombing and battles because they wanted to give us a better future than their present. They fought and they won. And their vision of the world has won with them. A new free Europe rose on that very day, and we understood that there can be peace in places where human rights are not respected. Human rights like freedom, for example. Let's think about these last 72 years of peace. We have experienced a great economic growth, and even if we don't live in a perfect society, our life conditions have so improved in ways that in the 40s no one could ever imagine. And yes, we didn't have to fear war. We grew up in a safe country. We didn't have to face the terror of living in a shelter while hearing our city being burned to the ground. We didn't have to live with the fear of hearing our house fall apart over us while sleeping, due to an enemy bombing, for example. So we have gained a lot in these last 72 years of peace. And we must not make the same mistakes as our ancestors did. You know, united we stand, divided we fall. This wind of isolationism, of war, that blows strongly in every European country, fueled by politicians whose only goal is to obtain something from the destruction of the status quo or from fear and hate, well, that wind must not divide us. You know, peace is the greatest gift we have received, and it's our duty to pass it to our sons and our grandsons, because peace is much more than only an absence of war. Peace means safeness. Peace means economic growth. Peace means possibility. Yeah. And we really have to preserve it. I think that we should start a new type of war. I mean, our ancestors, those 1 million soldiers fallen, fought with wars, with weapons, with weapons. Now it's our time to start a new type of war, a weaponless war, if you may think of. And because we have to preserve it from our enemies, whose only goal is the destruction of our society, which is not perfect, but it gives us more than we can imagine. So yes, I really think that peace is not only an absence of war. That in these grave times, we should really stop these winds of war which blows in our countries.
Thank you. Questions from the audience? Go ahead.
Do you believe that in Italy we truly respect human rights?
Well, you know, the basic human rights are respected in all Western nations, but I do think that we can improve, that we can do better. There are some rights was still debated in our country. There's still debate going on in our parliament, but yeah, I think that most of the rights are really respected. But here comes a new factor. Here comes religion and way of thinking, traditional way of thinking. Italy is a major Catholic country, and the Catholic religion has great moral authority over people. So I definitely would say that Italy respects human rights, but I do really honestly think that we can do even better each day.
Go ahead.
So maybe you didn't give a lot of importance, but you said that peace is economic growth.
Yeah.
If you think about the history of economic growth, the first industrial revolution, okay, there was economic growth, but think about the situation in the industry, the situation of the workers, the problems that they had, and so on. What do you think about it?
Yes. Well, this is a question. I meant economic growth. We are experiencing a great recession and rise in 2008. We had a great economic rise. So you may think, why have you said economic growth? Or, as you said, the living condition of these workers. But as I said before, peace can live only in places where human rights are respected, and in those places basic human rights were not respected at all. You can't have a man working for 16 hours a day or 20 hours a day. It's not possible. It's destroying this man, not making him work. So yes, there was a great economic growth, and we experienced a great economic growth, but paying a very high price. So that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some might argue that, some might say that this is the, although this is the most peaceful moment we as Europe have experienced, there is still work to be done, which is true, but do you think it's more important to keep moving on and not losing the verve, or that it's more important to maintain and make sure this imperfect peace stays as it is for a bit?
Yeah, there's still a lot of debate going on that very topic. I do honestly believe that we have to keep our results now. In this period, in this year, we have to keep our results. And then, when we are sure what has been already done, we can proceed further on. We don't, no one is running behind us. We don't have to make everything fast, but we have to make everything being sure. We are sure to do something, not making it fast, because it's when we talk about uniting people, because the European Union is about uniting, connecting people who have different histories, traditions. Well, we cannot just sort of unify all the tradition, because it's not possible. But we have to accept the different tradition, different thinking, ways of thinking, or different religions. So first we have to consolidate our results, and then we can take further steps.
Thank you.
Any more?
Oh, is there one there? Like last one.
Okay, so you talk about how our ancestors fought for defending our liberties. So I would like to ask you whether it is honorable to die for your own country.
Well, you know, there are many wars. There were many wars in European history, and many died in the name of their country, but not for a right cause, you know. But still in modern times, we are at war. Italy is officially at war with some kind of organization, military organization, or even with countries. So many people died under the home flag because they believed in what their politicians told them. But were they really dying for a good cause? That's what I'm asking myself. You know, for example, trade conflicts or other conflicts which were not fought in the name of liberty, but in the name of economic interests, trade interests. That's not really a cause for war, because you're not helping somebody, but you're only making your interest. So yes, you are dying for your country, because who declares war doesn't go to the battlefield, makes others go to the battlefield. So yes, there are still people, there were people dying for their countries, but not for a right reason, or not for a right cause. Well, so you can say war and liberty does not stay in the same place. Yeah. War can be fought for liberty, war can be fought for economic reasons, political reasons, and you have to distinct. They must be separated one from another.
Thank you.